Alright, we're back with the 580 again. Haven't done anything of this in a little while, but it's time to pay some attention to this. You saw in some of the other videos I used this to lift things off of my grader. This piston in particular has been leaking really bad. You can actually see that the internal seal has completely come out. So this just gushes oil. We do have a rebuild kit for it. I've never rebuilt the cylinder before, so this is going to be all new. So a little bit of a game plan. Looks like what we do is take out this pin, lean some things forward. Should be able to disconnect it down here at the bottom. Get this bar out of the way, like I said, by taking the pin out. Take the hoses off. See what we can do to begin taking this cylinder and pulling it on out, so we can put some new seals in it and see how that goes. So I'm going to go assemble some tools. All right. Quick video. I started making a video the other day that we were going to rebuild some cylinders on this old 580. I've already rebuilt this one. We actually took this whole cylinder off and rebuilt it. I didn't video any of it. We kind of just got into it and got doing it. But that one needs to be done. This one you can see needs to be done. The hydro leveler cylinder, the tilt cylinder we already did. We had the kit for it. Procedure is basically the same. I found that one was going to be easier to take off. And then when we get done, we'll get the kit and we will do this lift cylinder. This tilt cylinder must have been done because it doesn't leak at all. Everything else sure did. So rather than me talking too much, I did get started. I have my spanner wrench and I've already started loosening the housing, and I just took the pin out here. So now we're going to try and take this pin out. This is so hard for me to do and talk at the same time. I don't know how much pressure is on this right now, but I'm going to see what I can do to remove this pin. And a little less talking, a little more doing. I'm going to try and just gently. Almost looks like it's rounded on this side. Not having taken one of these out, I'm looking to see if there's any snap rings. I know there was just you can see there was a bolt hole there. I took that retainer bolt out. I feel like there's a lot of tension on this thing. Wonder if I should start the drain process first. Let's get our bucket under here. I'm really getting tired of getting oil on the floor. And I'm thinking maybe our intention here is, we've seen somebody else do this job watch somebody else's video doing this. I'm going to try and do it the way they did it, rather than taking the whole cylinder off, which I could take the snap ring off if I get this out, I'm sure, and take the whole thing off. But they just literally laid it down here and pulled the cylinder right out, and then rebuilt it and put it back, rather than taking the whole thing off. And that's what I'm going to try and do. So I guess I kind of feel like there's a lot of tension on this cylinder. So if I go ahead and take this off, maybe I can. I guess we're going to find out. Let's find out what happens when I take this off. Oh man. Let's see how this is going to be. I gotta actually take it off up here. This is not on a swivel. I was able to loosen that just now. But it looks to me like I gotta take this off up here. And of course, no two things are ever the same. What was that, an inch? So you got my bag of tricks here. An inch and 1/16. That's probably what it is. Yep, inch and 1/16. So let's take this off. Let's take it off at the hose here. See what we can do. Just enough rust on there to make this tough. Here comes my oil as expected. Should have at least oil coming out of this line. I'm wondering, that's draining very nicely into my bucket. I'm wondering if I shouldn't just let that go on there and let it run out. Just enough rust on this thing to make the wrench not fit quite right. It's kind of a shame I'm dumping all this oil out, because we had just put a bunch of oil in this thing, but at the rate it was spewing out of all these cylinders, it was kind of pointless. There we go. This is cleaned off a little. Oh, I guess I'm not showing that very well. Let's just keep going with that. It's possible doing any hydraulic work and not get completely oily. That would be nice. I think that's just kind of a dream. Alright, there we go. So I saw that coming. Anyway, at least we're in the bucket this time. Had a little accident when I was doing the front, and one of those big arms fell off while I was doing it and actually flipped my bucket over. Kind of sucked. Made a huge mess. I don't know what my prospects are now to turn this thing over and dump the oil without making a mess. Do the best I can. Well, I'm going to turn that line down and drain her out, take her off, and take these two lines off. Actually, I have the same situation here. I think I may have the same situation here where the swivel's on the other end. This doesn't swivel either. That doesn't swivel. So those are the hard line. You know what should be easy never is. So it looks like I got this holder here. I might get away with it. But take that off up there. These actually look like relatively new lines. I'm going to take that off up there. Take this off back here. Yep, that's what we got to do. Alright, let me move this bucket over a little bit. Looks like I got to take this one. In order to take this one off, I got to take it back off at the control back here. So that's what I'm going to do. And we'll video that in a minute. Alright, so I've gone ahead and taken the hoses off. I didn't really video it. Fortunately, didn't make too much of a mess, but just for the heck of it, I started tapping on this with a handle. The hammer, just this rubber handle. That's just tapping right out of there. Not a complaint, just a surprise. So I'm gonna get a drift pin, and I'm gonna gently just go get a hammer and tap that out, and I should be able to lay this cylinder right on down. Well, that was easy enough. I almost just pushed it out by hand, which is great. So there's that, and hoses are disconnected. So next I'm going to take the spanner wrench, take this collar off. I probably have to pull this hose out a little bit. Let's go put this on the bench, and we'll do that next. Alright, I've taken the gland loose, pulled it out. Spanner wrench, pulled it out. I used the come along to get this started. I don't know what I'm going to need to come along to pull it all the way out. I might. I don't know if I can get this out of there by hand or not. Ugh. Now we're going to put the come along back on it. Let's just put the come along and pull it on out of there. Just make sure you catch that thing. Alright, we're set up now. Got the come along, you ready?
Yep.
Pull it really slow.
We're out.
And we're out. So now, we go take off that nut.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mess, isn't it? We'll go take the nut off the back, take the gland off, and then we'll go to the hydraulic shop and get those glands matched up. You want me to take that nut off now?
Yeah.
Alright, so piston's out. In the vise. Got our air gun. Let's see how we go. I may have to take that stuff out of there. Hang on, it's not staying tight. Let's tighten that up some. See if I can get away with it. Let's try it again. Alright, now we're on there again. Alright, nice to have the tools. They claim those are at what? 900 foot-pounds? 700 foot-pounds? So there it is. Don't lose the orientation.
Yeah, so why don't we put a wire, put that down, we'll put a wire tie around it.
Take the old land off. Yeah, that's definitely no good. And take that into the shop tomorrow, the hydraulic place, and get the right seals. Put it all back together.